Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Princess Kitchen. Yes guys, today it's very beautiful outside. It's warm and nice. And guys, today we are going to make some rice porridge and some fresh bread. Yes, everything from scratch, and I hope you're gonna love this. So let me take you through what I have today. I have the rice, and for the bread side I have salt, I have margarine. This is half cup of margarine. This is half cup of sugar. I have my yeast. Nutmeg, I'll be taking 1 teaspoon from that. I have 1 egg. It should be room temperature. I have evaporated milk. I do not have fresh milk at home right now, so I'm using evaporated milk. So I'm using only half cup of that. And this is 1.5 cup of warm water, and I have my vanilla extract, and of course I have my flour that I'll be using, and these are the bowls, spoons that I'll be using to measure all this stuff. Now, to get the texture that I want it to be thick, smooth and nice. So I will first soak the rice in warm water before I will start my dough. Now I'm going to start with the dough. So I added my evaporated milk and the water to it as well, and I'm going to add 1.5 tablespoon of yeast to the milk. Now I'll give it a stir, and after stirring I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of sugar to it. That helps the yeast to activate. And after stirring, I will just keep it in a warm place. Now I'm going to start with the dry ingredients. So I'm going to measure 5 cups of flour, and I will sift it. I started with 2, and I'm gonna continue with the other 3 of the cups, and make sure you sift it to make it nice. Now I'll add my 1 teaspoon of nutmeg to it. I'm gonna add my sugar, my salt to taste, 1 teaspoon, and I will mix everything together. And after mixing, I'm going to create a well in the flour. Now the yeast is active, so I'm going to add to the flour and continue with my eggs, and also add my margarine to it. And now I'm going to add my vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons to it, and then you give it a stir. Now I've already washed my hands, so my hands are very clean and neat. So I'm going to use my hands to mix it so that I don't get any lumps in it. And after this, I'm going to add some flour on the counter and then knead my dough. Everything is fresh. So imagine how I'm going to eat this rice porridge. I love rice porridge because it does the magic for me when I'm going to work in the morning. I eat that, and that takes me the whole day until I go for my lunch around 1:30 in the afternoon, you know. So I just love rice porridge, and I love it thick like that. You don't need a blender to do all that, no. You just soak it. While I'm doing all these, it's still soaking up, you know. So by the time it will be ready to go on the stove, oh, it will be so good and soft already. Yeah, now my dough, I'm done with it, so I'm gonna cover with a plastic wrap, and I'm gonna keep this in a warm place for it to double in size for me. Yeah, now I'm gonna start with my rice. But remember to bring some water to boil before you add your rice to it. It helps the rice to cook faster for you. And I added about 1 teaspoon of salt to it. If you don't like salt, don't add to it, but if you like it, that's good. I love to taste a little bit of salt in it, so I always make sure I have salt in it. And don't cover it. Now my dough has doubled in size, so I will start by shaping it. Yes, so while I was waiting for it to double in size and all that, I've also greased my baking pan and I added a bit of flour in it. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So this helps the dough. After the bread is done, it's not gonna stick in the baking pan. So make sure you butter it, and then you add some flour to it. Now the best thing to do is to get some scale. If you have a scale, you just weigh this, and you know that when it goes in the oven, it's gonna come out the same time. But if you don't have the scale, that's fine. I don't have any scale, so I scale by hand in my imagination. So you can do that. Yeah, shape it nicely, and then you put it in your baking pan. And I'm gonna make this one round. I'm gonna shape it round. I'm not done yet, but you can smell the bread. It's so nice, you know. Imagine if it comes out from the oven. Oh my goodness. And this will be perfect. Now this, I'm gonna let that sit for about 30 minutes before it goes in the oven. Now I'm gonna check my rice, and I'll continue to add some water to it. Now if you don't want it to be thick, then you don't have to butter, okay? You don't have to mash some of the rice in it, but I like it that way, so I'm gonna use this to mash some of the rice in it to make it smooth. Yeah, this is the texture that I want. But I'm gonna continue to add more water to it so that I can so that it doesn't turn into omutu or rice balls. Now if you don't like it like this, you can just make it watery. You don't have to mash it, but I like it this way. It becomes heavy, so that when you eat a bit of it, then you get full. Now after the 30 minutes, my bread has doubled in size again, so now it's ready to go in the oven. I preheated the oven for about 10 minutes on 300 degrees, so now it's gonna go in the oven for about 45 minutes and it will be out. I added 1.5 cups of sugar to my rice porridge. You do it this way so that it doesn't become watery. So it's always best to add the sugar to it while it's still on fire. Now you see the thickness. This is how I want mine. It's so thick and it's smooth. Now I'm going to add some water to it so that the surface will not become dry, and I will cover. Now we are done with the bread and the rice. Now the bread is out from the oven. As you can see, it's so fresh and beautiful, and it smells good. Breakfast is served. Are you ready for this? Bring your bowls. Let's enjoy this together, guys. Breakfast be a guy. You see the thickness? This is how I love my rice porridge. So if you don't like it this way, make it watery. The reason why I added the sugar to it while it was still on fire It's because when it's done like this and you add the sugar to it, it becomes watery, and I don't want it that way. So to prevent that, you always have to add to it while it's still on fire, you know. So now I like it the thickness like this, so I can add my milk and it will become smooth. Oh yeah, we've come to the end of the video. Please kindly subscribe and like, share, and don't forget that in everything, God first. Until then, I will see you another time. Stay blessed.